play on. Well,
All right, hold on. We got a little mic issue. We'll reconnect with him in 1 second here. A little mic issue with Albert Breer, Monday morning quarterback, lead strategist, lead content. Done for that. By the way, just to throw this out as our guys clean that up, a couple days ago, it's funny. For years and years, I was, seen as a guy that was a LeBron homer. And I always said, I'm not a Brady homer. I'm not a LeBron homer. They're the best athletes in their sport. They win a bunch of games. I'm not a homer. I would be a homer if LeBron averaged 18 points a game and could never get to the finals, or if Brady was 8-8 and could never win his division. If you're great, and it's not my job to talk about your team, be great, I'll talk about your team. I don't talk about the Cavs anymore because they're no longer interesting. So a couple days ago, Charles Barkley took a little shot at LeBron James, and we have the video of it.
LeBron James, come into the studio. You ain't got nothing to do. The playoffs started yesterday. You got free time. I know you got to pick a coach and a general manager.
He's picking it?
Oh, I know you got to pick a coach. Just put that on the back burner.
Okay, so LeBron responded to this via social media, Twitter. Here's my little issue. First of all, I think it'd be a great idea. Chuck gives you some crap. You can come down to us, connect with people. Not a fan of, hey, Sir Charles, I got a ton going on. I may take you up. We shall see. King in studio. Can we scale back on the King thing? Don't love it, LeBron. Not a big fan of it, especially now. I got it early. It was fun. It always felt playful when he called himself the King. I always thought it was kind of fun. The chosen one, the king, the tattoo. Now, with the optics and the injury, it feels a little like you're going into delusion mode. Can we scale back on the King thing? First of all, I think it's a great opportunity. Talk to the people, come down, be humbled. Chuck will give you crap. It'll be very funny. And you know a lot about basketball. You'd actually be an interesting watch. You get a lot of play. And I have this feeling LeBron is going to acquiesce here and do it. I don't have any inside intel, but I think he's going to do it. All right, let's go back to Albert Breer. All right, Albert, let's clean this thing up on Russell Wilson. You like it. Why?
Just because I think that creates some certainty at the quarterback position. We don't know what's going to happen with the CBA, and that was obviously an issue here, what they wanted to do as far as this being a percentage of the salary cap or if it's raw dollars. I think the Russell Wilson side did an effective job using the different things that could be coming in the next 3 or 4 years as their position so they could come off of it and get top dollar. The Seahawks tried to play on his emotions a little bit, saying we can do X, Y, and Z for you if you take maybe a little bit less. Ultimately, I think he got what he deserved, which was to be the next guy to become the highest paid player in the league.
Okay, by next Thursday, the draft starts. Give me the latest on Kyler Murray in Arizona.
I believe Kyler Murray is going to be the first overall pick in the draft. I think that part of this is just a matter of some of the things that are floating around out there about potentially Williams number 1 overall. I'm not buying it right now. I would just tell you my one piece of evidence is the way that the Arizona Cardinals have handled things with Josh Rosen. I think the trust is broken there, Colin. I don't think you do that with the guy that you drafted 10th overall in 2018. You don't overall pick. So I understand the league is best.
Yeah, we're having too many problems with Albert Breer's mic. Our guys are figured out. One of the things I did garner from that, which I believe is, I think they've lost. I think Josh Rosen and the organization, I think that thing's toast. I think it's toast. It's just, there was a time with Kyler Murray in Arizona. I thought, okay, what they're doing is they're building up Kyler Murray, and they're building him up, and they're telling Josh Rosen, listen, we're just building him up so people come up and give us a bunch of picks. But I would have bought that briefly, but they just haven't diffused any of these rumors. So when you don't diffuse them and you let them live, I mean, it's just like anything else. I've been in this business long enough. There are times I've been with companies, they'll let a rumor hang for 36 hours, see how the market plays. I mean, I've seen teams do this. When I lived on the East Coast, I was always struck by how much sports radio had an influence over teams. I saw teams like the New York Mets draft people and sign people basically because they were getting crushed on sports radio by not signing anybody. But so I've seen teams dangle stuff out there for 36 hours, and I've had an executive or two tell me over time, sometimes you'll put something out, you'll float a balloon to the market and see how the market reacts. And teams will watch their fans and watch the reaction. But this thing's been going on for a month now, and to me, that's not floating it out there to get a reaction from the fans.
Well, it's gone on too long.
Yes.
They've killed his stock in the city. You can't, it looks like you got the lesser of the two if you don't take Kyler Murray, even though that may not be true. You have to build him up. The only way to do this, if you weren't going to try and build up Kyler Murray to get more draft picks, was to say you're sticking with Josh Rosen all the way up until the draft. You have to do that.
Well, the other thing is, it's funny. Almost every NFL quarterback has come from, they all have a chip on their shoulder. Peyton Manning's rare. Best high school quarterback, best college quarterback, taken number one. Generally speaking, Aaron Rodgers got ignored. Brady got ignored. Ohio State didn't offer Big Ben. Texas didn't offer Drew Brees. Almost all NFL quarterbacks. It's unbelievable. Patrick Mahomes didn't end up at the big school. It's remarkable how many great quarterbacks in the NFL did not come from Bama, USC, Notre Dame, all that stuff. The knock on Josh Rosen, I've heard this a couple of times, is that Josh is so bright. Now he's got his money. Josh Rosen, and I wonder if Arizona worries about this. Let's say Josh gets hurt. Just retire. If Josh has always been a little brittle, and I do wonder if Arizona sits there and thinks, because I know for a fact when Arizona drafted him, their big concern was he got hurt a couple times in college. So did Sam Bradford, can't stay healthy in the pros. I always thought the knock on Josh Rosen was his personality. My concern is, what if he gets hurt? Does he want to go through a year and a half of rehab? From money, has options. I could see that kid putting a backpack on and saying, I'm traveling the world. I think the Kyler Murray thing is going to happen. I just think he feels like their future. Hour 3 coming up. Jim Jackson stops by our studio in L.A. 2 hours down. It's The Herd.